Yeah, inflammatory property, anti-inflammatory property. So in our lab, we have done some experiments regarding cancer. You know what is cancer? Breast cancer, prostate cancer. Breast cancer is one of the most prevalent cancer in our world, and it's affect females, right? Breast cancer. So for the men also it affects more, but most prevalent in the woman category. So as you can see, we have done some experiments in cinnamon dalchini chakka. Did you try to eat any time, or did you throw it? No, you don't know cinnamon.
I know, but
You don't eat it, but try to eat it. Okay, whenever you get it, you eat it. Not cinnamon. I'm not trying to say when you eat cinnamon you will cure of cancer or something, nothing like that, because we have done only up to the animal model experiment. So it has to proven in the human study, then only we can recommend to the human. But as we know, it has the property, there is nothing wrong to include in your diet. So don't throw it, try to include. I'll explain a small experiment. Okay, here we have used the cinnamon extract. Here you can see there are group of cells, right? These are cancer cells. They grow uncontrollably, there is no limitation. So it's a very bad thing for our health, right? See, our fingers are like this only, there is no more growth because growth is open. Think about, here the cells are growing too much, then it's developed into some other disease, right? So here you can see we have used a small concentration of cinnamon extract. Here we have used the largest, or little bigger. So concentration is what we increase the amount. As of now you understand that level. So when you use one spoon of sugar, so when instead of that you use 2 sugar, the sweetness will increase, right? Same like that, cinnamon extract volume also we have increased. As you can see here, the cell number is decreased, right? So what you got it from this? What is the conclusion? Here starting with 100 of cells and ending up with 5 number of cells. What does that mean? Cinnamon something it has done.
it's mixing map.
Yeah, exactly. So that is what we have proven. Same like curry leaf, and most of the people, especially children, they throw out. We have done in animals. See here we have induced the we have injected the cancer cells. You can see the tumor size, right? Tumor or tissue size, it's very big. See, as you can think, instead of, see, he said tulasi, it is for anti-inflammatory. So like that, how we can prove it? It's not like lot of people say to us, eat this will be good for your health. So but try to think why it is good, how can we prove it? So when you grow, somebody wants to become a biology scientist, it will be useful. Okay, will you think next time? Any doubt?
See, you can see here how many uses are there when you are taking
Yeah.
the curry leaves and even cinnamon. See that all uses. Just have a look, make a note, right? So that
Not only
the ones you
anti-cancerous,
cannot
there are lot of
eat
properties.
Okay, hormones are what? You know any idea? It's a chemical messengers, okay? These are produced from certain glands in our body, then travel to other distant organs, and there they exert different functions. Okay, so vitamin D, do you know about vitamin D? Can you tell me what are the functions, like basic? You can check from here and tell. Yes, very good. So it helps to deposit calcium in our bone, which makes our bone stronger, right? So that is the classical function of vitamin D. Other than that, there are different non-classical functions in other target organs that we are studying in our lab. Like for example, it helps to release insulin from pancreas, which helps in the prevention and management of diabetes. Then it increases muscle mass, it prevents cardiac disorders, it promotes heart health, promotes immune response, immunity. Okay, so there are two major, and D3 we can also synthesize in our skin from sun exposure. So can you tell me the proper timing for sun exposure? Midday we should do. Actually, as per the latest recommendations from NIN, it should be between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, midday sun exposure, 30 minutes, at least 25% of your body surface should be exposed. And always look for this plus F logo on milk packets and oil packets, and that makes sure that your product is fortified with vitamin D.
Of the medicinal property of few of the everyday things, few masalas and few curry leaves on the cancer. Can you tell us what is cancer? You know? Huh? What kind of disease it is? So in cancer, what happens when the growth is not under your control? Your nail will grow, but in fashion. But sometime what will happen? This will grow uncontrollably. So that is the cancer. So in this, yeah. So what we are looking in this lab, that everyday masalas, for example, you know the cinnamon, ठीक है, दालचीनी. So the effect of this cinnamon on the growth of the cancer. As you can see, this cell line which we use is a breast cancer cell line. So this is the cancer cell line. Say we take around 100 of the cells here. But as we are increasing the concentration, for example, we are adding little bit dalchini here, more and more. So as you can see, as we are increasing the amount of dalchini or this cinnamon, the number of cells are coming down. Okay. By the way, actually these studies are not done in the humans. These are the preclinical studies. Okay. But here also we can see that the effect of this cinnamon has on the growth of cancer. More we are having it, the less amount is able to survive. Okay. The same thing is with curry leaves.
Yeah, same thing is with curry leaf. I'm not explaining. See, other than cancer properties, there are a lot of other properties. So as our lab is studying on cancer works, so we are only explaining about the cancer property. You can have a look at what are the means what? Sorry? Yeah, reduce. So what it has proven, Murraya has the property to reduce the cancer cell growth. So try to think, maybe lot of people see your grandparents will say this plant is good, that plant is good. Why it is good? Here comes the thought process. You have to think about it. So when the thought comes in your brain, you have to try how to prove it. So that you have to do lot of experiments. These are very part of our experiments. Okay. So think like a scientist. Okay.
What is actually cancer? What is the difference between that cancer?
Difference between, so if that particular cancer affecting breast, it called breast cancer. Liver, it is liver cancer. There are a lot of gene mutations, everything is affected. I won't be explain it now. Okay, mutation you have heard, right? Sudden changes happening in the gene and all, that may lead to breast cancer. Same like in liver, there are other genes and all. Cancer cells, cinnamon amount is increasing, but the cancer cell number is decreasing. Yeah.
So by seeing the structure also, you can find the difference, right? Which is fortified rice and which one is a normal rice. As sir said that, you can see the difference in that structure, right? Grains here, they are having different shapes, right? With finding the difference between these two, then we can easily identify that.
Actually, government started one scheme, fortified rice.
Like milk, where we add vitamin A and D, and in the oil also we'll add vitamin A and D, and in salt we'll add iron and iodine, and in the rice and the wheat we'll add iron, folic acid and vitamin B12. Okay, so these are very small changes in the food where it can improve a lot of nutrients and micronutrients in our body. So it has a very big impact to improve our health. Yeah.
Does it have symptoms something?
Sorry, it has if you have the weakness and if you have this fever, a few fevers are related to the anemia. Okay, and mainly you can tell by the weakness.
Based on the antigen antibody reaction, what we are taking the sample, serum or plasma sample, that sample have the antigens and the reagents have the antibody. When antigen and antibody mixes, it forms turbidity or cloudiness. When we pass the light through that cuvette, due to this cloudiness or turbidity, the light will absorbed by the sample, so the remaining transmittance lights will go to the detector. The detector will give the results in micrograms levels. Like in anemia conditions, we using this instrument to estimate the iron, that ferritin.
So today in our department of clinical epidemiology, what we are trying to tell is we do community-based studies. Okay, in that community-based studies and randomized control trial, which is the highest level of evidence. So we made this makana, papad makana. You have seen this papad makana, na? So it is relatively grown in most of the 90% of papad makana is grown in northern parts of India. Okay, as madam said that. But can we consume it daily? How to consume it? as a snack. But can we make into a roti? The idea we got. So that individual suffering with diabetes, if they consume this as a meal, so his sugar level is coming down. So if we take it, we might hardly take only 20 grams maximum, because it is so big packet. It is still it is less than the makhana. One ratio is to the wheat to form a roti, because makhana has a gluten free. It is good for some individuals suffering with stomach diseases, celiac disease. So it is considered as a superfood. In fact, recently our Prime Minister said that he will be consuming 300 days out of an year. Every day I am consuming this, because it has a lot of anti-nutrients, and also if you see the chart, so there is a nutritional profile of it also. Okay, so how it is benefit? It is having a high content of protein. So this you have seen, makhana. So this how we converted into a snack product into a daily consumption meal replacement as a roti. If you can see, we have mentioned in the chart, their blood sugar levels have dropped significant. One outcome of this study. Always studies, if it is done properly in a randomized control trial, the evidence generated from randomized control trial are the highest level of evidence. Okay, so there are studies at different levels, like case reports. Hey, is it really useful? Is it not? Did they study? Did they do any study behind it? Because you see so many news in the articles, like this is good for diabetes, this is good for hypertension. Whether the real study has done or, because this is considered as only a snack all these years since its production. Okay, but first time we converted into a meal replacement.
In regular diet, everyone can take.
See, this is an important question. This is first a research question we have to frame for doing any research. Here we have framed a research question. We have taken diabetic individuals. We made into two arms. For one arm, we have not given makhana. We have given a replacement rice roti. And another arm, we have given nothing. Our mother we won't consume refined rice. Whatever we are consuming is purely refined. You can little bit less refined, one stage less refined consuming. So all these products, health benefits, initially millets also similarly. Millets are very also called nutrition cereals. Unless storage they will do. But we have to make sure at one point their healthy benefits. At the same time, they are not losing its nutritional composition, and they are giving their health benefits. That is the reason why refining at what level of milling. This is also NIN is doing a study on millets. Consumption as a meal, because if you eat less than 30 grams, it will be very full. We can't consume more than this. And sometimes the snacks are added with salt, pepper and all those things. So rather than we made into a proper meal replacement.
On three principles, okay? The one principle is fluidics, second principle is optics, and third principle is electronics. Anybody knows what is fluidics? Fluidics means any fluid, right? It could be water, it could be any fluid that flows. Okay, optics is what you see. It could be a camera also. And third is electronics, right? We are using electronics, we are using the system, we are using lasers, so it electronics. So using these three principles, we can differentiate cells into different sizes and different complexities. Okay, so even if you see over here, if you see, there is neutrophils, there is monocytes, there are lymphocytes. So lymphocytes, monocytes and neutrophils are a part of WBC. You said about WBC, right? So WBC has neutrophils, monocytes and lymphocytes. These are of different complexities and different sizes that can be differentiated because of this instrument. So this instrument is useful for which kind of research? It can be used for health sciences, it can be used for cancer research, it can be used for immunological researches, etc, etc.
Can we see that instrument?
There is an instrument, yeah. So you can see this instrument. So this functions in such a way that we load our sample in here.
Blood sample you will load.
You can load blood sample, you can load your tissue sample, you can load your different kind of samples we can load here.
So any liquid samples only?
Liquid, only fluid based samples, right? So then the instrument will load here and the sample will flow from this to the flow cell. This is called the flow cell. Using the flow cell, it goes down. Here is one camera, here is another camera. Using these cameras, we will detect. And we have lasers inside. So these particular lasers will directly jump onto the sample.
Sample.
Yes, and then
that will
using that
be
laser,
segregated.
yeah, not segregate. Using the laser, we can excite. So basically, every laser has different wavelength. So using that wavelength, other colors will be excited. On the basis of color, we can divide the cells into different categories.
So it's fine. It's all about what finding or separating the
Yes, different
blood
kind of
cells.
cells.
Blood cells.
Not blood, exactly any kind of cells
Any
you can.
kind of
Yes,
cells.
yes.
So it may be like
You can use for cancer cells also. You can
diagnostic, we can say.
you can identify cancer cells also using this. That is very much possible. We can use bacterial cells also.
Where we are using this?
So right now we are using in the study of cell cycle also. Different kind of cell cycle is also there. No, G2 phase, S
Yeah.
phase, M phase.
M phase.
Those cells in different phases we can also identify using this particular instrument. I am also using it right now for bacterial sorting. So different kind of bacteria are there based on different. They are pathogenic or they are non-pathogenic.
In general population, and we see how this nutritional deficiencies impact the age-related conditions, diseases in diabetes. So you know what is diabetes? High glucose levels, which are consistently high glucose levels, can impact the organs, right? Different organs. Okay, and obesity also can have a impact on your health, right? So we see how through diet we can manage these conditions. Okay, so as we age, we can have chronic diseases, we can have multimorbidity conditions like multiple organ system failure or frailty. That is, many of the organ systems fail in older age groups. Suppose a 60-year-old person, someone who maintains an active lifestyle and good eating habits can still be active. While some at 60, they can be bedridden also, yeah? They can have multiple organ failure also. So it depends on how you manage your life. So when I say frail, that means they have lost E, and K, right? And water soluble vitamins, vitamin B and C, right? Okay. So we have seen in apparently healthy individuals which look very healthy. In such individuals also you will see this vitamin deficiencies. Okay. It's important for wound healing, for cell growth, for cell division, for normal growth of an individual. So when there is deficiency of zinc, you see muscle atrophy, that is loss of muscle. So you know what are the diabetic complications? So diabetes can affect your eyes, causing retinopathy, can affect your kidneys, causing nephropathy, balance of the lipid profile. So you know vitamin B12, it is one of the B vitamins, but it is stored, okay? Other vitamins are water soluble, so they'll be lost when in excess. So in diabetes, what happens is there is neurodegeneration, loss of the neurons, the brain cells, okay? But vitamin B12 can help in such conditions also. So that is a finding of our study. So vitamin B12 can prevent the loss of the neurons, that is your nerves, brain cells. It can prevent neurodegeneration. So when healthy tissue is replaced by the fibrous tissue, the non-functional tissue, then what happens? There is loss of function, okay? That can affect your heart, liver, lungs and even the kidney. So in diabetes and obesity, what happens? This fibrosis is accelerated. It is at higher speed, greater speed than the normal condition. So vitamin B6 can help in this fibrosis. Yes.
Can you tell me can you repeat about fibrosis? It can lead to cancer, or as you said that it is like replacing the old cells, right?
Okay, yeah. See, what happens is normally it is a repair mechanism, that fibroblast activation. What happens is whenever there is a tissue injury, that tissue has to be removed and it has to be replaced by a fibrous material. So what it does is that those cells die and fibrous, the extracellular matrix, cementing like material is released. Okay, that part of the organ is healed. But what happens?
In our blood plasma, we had fibrogels like
Fibrocytes, those are called fibroblast activation. So those fibroblasts normally, when after releasing that cementing material, no, they should retreat, they should go back. But what happens in inflammation or diabetes like condition? They remain there continuously and they go on releasing that cementing material.
To cancer.
Cancer
means generally it is the excess mass.
It is not cancer, not cancer exactly. It will lead to organ failure. They can coexist. Fibrosis and cancer can coexist, but it is not like it is leading. So we don't want that to happen. The repair should happen and the cells should go back.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here. So when there is a chronic, that is continuous activation of fibrocytes, that causes fibrosis. So Fibrocytes. Those are cells in the blood. Whenever there is a repair mechanism needed, they come and then they kind of cement, they add extracellular matrix. They're kind of cementing proteins which will heal that part of the tissue, okay? And they again go back to the blood. Those are cells which will release those substances. When they don't go back and they remain continuously active in the tissue, suppose let's say kidney or heart, okay? They remain continuously active there. They'll be releasing the cementing material. We don't know it too much cement, right? We just need that part and they should go back. When that doesn't happen, and like that we have composed this polyherbal composition from amla, cinnamon, turmeric, pepper and ginger, which helps in preventing complications of diabetes, obesity, and managing the lipid metabolism. And also, you know the importance of fermented foods, right? So they help in releasing the functional metabolites, they help in maintaining the gut health, they help in maintaining the, they are anti-inflammatory, they will not allow anti-inflammatories. Inflammation is swelling. Swelling is not good for your body, okay? So anti-inflammatory, they will not allow swelling to happen in your body.
Swelling can be inside the body also.
Yes. What you see here is superficial. It can happen to your organs also.
Yes, ma'am.
What is pH?
Potential.
Okay, what it measures? Just tell. Acidity or alkalinity of a solution. Okay, so it measures the hydrogen ion concentrations. If a solution contains more hydrogen ions, then it is acidic in nature, right? If it has more OH ions, then it is basic in nature, right? So can you tell me some examples of acidic solutions? Lemon juice.
Baking soda.
Baking soda?
Base.
Then orange juice, citric acid juice, these are all acidic solutions. 1 to 7, almost right. 1 to 7 is acidic pH. If a solution has a pH of 4, then it is acid. Yes. If a solution has pH of 9, then
Basic.
if it is 7,
Neutral.
yes. Water has a neutral pH, right? And what is the pH of our blood? Around 7.4, which is basic. If it turns from blue to red, then it is acidic, right? You have done that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then you will be moving into this section where you will be teach.
Tell anyone. Yeah, your body is made up of proteins, right? You eat non-veg? No. Okay, whoever eating non-veg, like all the vegetables, like we have proteins in that. We eat protein and we make body, right? So our body is made up of proteins. So proteins comes in different sizes, okay? So there are large proteins, there are smaller proteins, there are medium proteins. There are like negative charge moves towards positive, right? Positive electron. So that's how we give all proteins negative charge, and then we separate based on their size, okay? Larger molecules will run slower, smaller molecules will run faster, right? So based on their size, we separate. After separation, what we will do? We will transfer the proteins. There is a gel. So we in this we have a gel and we load a mixture of proteins in that, and we pass current through that.
How we are taking the sample.
And based on the molecular weight, they get separated. Based on their sizes, they get separated like this. You see like this. After separation, this is okay. So then. So we add some color to it. So
This is centrifuge machine. Basically works on the principle called centrifugation. You people are aware about centrifugal force and centripetal force? No? Just imagine yourself. Take a ball and you are tying it to a rope and rotating at a high speed. What happens is centrifugal force generally pulls objects away from the center. Centripetal force will pull it reverse, okay? Now we are more concerned about centrifugal force only. This instrument, what happens is it will spin at a high speed. So when spinning at a high speed, whatever the particles are there, they will move away from the center. And based on weight, lightweight particles will stay on the top and higher density particles, that is more weight particles, will settle at the bottom. Okay? For your reference, I will show you. In this though, I have added mud and water and I have mixed for your reference. Okay? I will show how it will appear after centrifugation. So this is how it will get separated. Okay? In the same way, we use this swing centrifuge to separate blood samples, okay? RBC, WBC has more density than serum and plasma, no? So during centrifugation, RBC, for example, if you are analyzing any tissue, you will take it and grind it in a buffer, okay? After grinding it in buffer, you will place it in centrifuge.
Diabetic nephropathy, which affects kidneys. So basically, this is what a kidney looks like. Okay, so kidney, if you have a coronal section, you can see the structures that are inside. So in order to see complications of diabetes, we use microscopy. That is a technique used to visualize small structures within tissues. So this is a slide, and on this you can see that there are kidney sections mounted on it. And the pink color that you're seeing, what you can take from this microscopy image is, in a normal kidney, in a healthy kidney, you will have intact glomerulus, whereas in a diabetic nephropathy, you will have detachment of glomerulus from the basement membrane. So this is essentially a part of an experiment where we had collected organs from the rat, which has been cut. So in this you can see this structure over here, that is a kidney, and this is immersed in a formalin fixative solution. The reason is that this is compound light microscope, and on top you can see there is a condenser. So the light source is coming from top and the objective is on the bottom. So that is the reason this slide, when you place it, you will place it upside down like this over here. And for adjusting focus, you use these wheels, and this is for adjusting the light intensity. You can see here. Yeah, sure. Just give me one. Come this side. Yeah, sure. So the pink structure that you're seeing, that is eosin stain. Come this side.
Dye, the fabric absorbs most of the colors and reflects that yellow color. That's why it is yellow. And why it is white? Because it reflects all the colors. That's why we are seeing it as a white light. Generally, if you in the sun, hot sun, if you keep a prism, then that white light is split into 7 colors, right? VIBGR. Because that white light is nothing but all the colors are there, 7 colors. Like that, light is made up of different wavelengths. As the light through this solution, very little light will come out. Most of the light will be absorbed. This absorption is directly proportional to concentration. If the solution is more concentrated, the absorption will be more. Okay? UV visible spectrophotometer works on this principle. Means you have given one sample. Ma'am, can you please estimate how much protein is there in that solution? You have given one white colorless solution, in that protein is there. Okay? Then I'll switch on the machine. See, here 2 lights will be there. This is UV visible. UV range is there, visible range is there. UV range, for UV range, we'll have deuterium lamp. If you want a visible range, then we'll have a halogen lamp. We have to select which wavelength. Then we have to give the wavelength. Then automatically that light will be on. If you want in is there. For that, we have to keep, based on the absorbance, we'll come to know the concentration. More absorbance means more concentration of the protein, directly proportional. Okay, got it?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Blood is a fluid connective tissue. So blood, what is the function of the blood? So, all parts of the body, okay. What is the pigment which imparts red color to the RBC? Globin, okay. Blood, there are 2 types of cells, okay. One is RBC, 3 types. One is RBC, one is granular cells divided into lymphocytes and monocytes, okay. So, neutrophils are increased in bacterial infections, okay. Eosinophils are increased in allergic
tissue fixation in formalin, 10% neutral buffer formalin. Then tissue processing, there are special liquids, alcohol, acetone, xylene, paraffin wax. Then tissue embedding. There is a tissue embedding station. We embed here small tissues after tissue processing for support the tissue for make this like this. This is a brain tissue. After that, we go for a tissue sectioning, 4 micron. This. Okay. Then we go for a strain microscopy. Okay. This is a brain tissue, kidney. This is liver, and this is
nutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients. Protein. Have you heard about protein, carbohydrate, fats? So this division is working on fats. So what type of oils you are using at home? Refined oil. Refined oil. Okay. Name? Any other? Sunflower. Gold. Freedom. So we have daily we will use fats and oils. Right. So we have two types of fats. One is visible and another one is non-visible. So non-visible means we can see from the different foods. Like now, visible fat we can get from the oils. So what type of oils you mentioned now? Coconut oil, ghee, sunflower oil, rice bran oil. These will get from the as a visible fat. These are invisible fat. So daily, do you have how much energy you have? How can you say energy? No? Have you heard about the word energy? Yes. Okay, energy. So protein will give you 4 kilocalories per gram. There are different fatty acids. So have you heard about the fatty acids? One is saturated fatty acids. Another one is monounsaturated fatty acids. Third one is polyunsaturated fatty acids. How do you say monounsaturated? How can you say it's more than 2 double bands? So saturated monounsaturated is called non-essential fatty acids. Why it is non-essential fatty acids? Because we are going to synthesize in our system, in our body. So polyunsaturated fatty acids are essential fatty acids because we are not going to synthesize because we have to get from the outsources. It's a good. Limited. See, trans fats. Okay. So trans fats we are getting from okay, right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, right.
So here is fat. So fat is two different types. Okay, one is visible fat and one is invisible fat. Visible fat, whatever we can see in eyes, like butter, oil, those are all fats. And invisible fat is we can't see by eyes. Okay, that is hidden in our food, like pulses and vegetables, fish, whatever we are eating now. They all are hidden inside the food.
A comprehensive national food sampling plan was developed, covering 107 sampling sites across these regions. Trained food samplers were dispatched to each site simultaneously, equipped with necessary supplies and detailed instructions. Upon reaching the designated town or city, samplers identified a randomly selected shop to procure the food items. Samples were purchased and brought carefully to the respective zonal composite centers, Delhi for North, Bengaluru for South, Varanasi for Central, Mumbai for West, Kolkata for East and Guwahati. Upon arrival, all non-edible material was removed. Only the edible portions were retained. Composite samples were then prepared to ensure representativeness. All plant-based
fast, affordable and 5 times cheaper than others. Imagine a world-first innovation right here in India.
Developed and made in India. No TB left behind, just like a beer.
So, what is TB? You can see here. TB is a disease that mostly affects the lungs. Not only lungs, it will affect all vital organs. Okay, what are the vital organs? Lungs, kidneys, brain, remaining heart. Okay, it will spread by through microorganisms. That is a
I am Dr. Sistala Radhakrishnan. ICMR's fight against TB has been decades in the making. Come, let me show you. When TB was a death sentence, we built sanatoriums. Patients were isolated far from home. But was that the only way? Sanatoriums. And the results were revolutionary. With proper medication and follow-up, patients could be treated at home. No need to be sent away. It changed WHO.
Now, if you know anything specifically, what is a TB? How it is spread? It's spread through direct contact? No. So TB is it affects the lungs. Other than lungs, it will be affects to other organs also like liver, bone, brain, kidney. So if it affects the lung, it's called pulmonal TB. Other than lungs, it's called extrapulmonary TB. So it is spread. It is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It spreads from person to person through air.
It is fast, affordable, and 5 times cheaper than others. Imagine.
Like our PM's vision. Eliminate TB by 2025.
Yes, the science is strong. The spirit is stronger. Were isolated far from home. But was that the only way? We launched the first large randomized controlled trial.
After the X-ray, if the X-ray shows abnormal, then immediately for the severe admission.
So whenever you are having less hemoglobin levels in your body, you see symptoms like fatigue. Just by roaming around the India school, you feel tired, and then when you see your tongue, eyes, here, especially here, it will be all light whitish color, then rather than the red color. And suddenly while you're sitting and getting up, you feel like you are going to fall down. So those are all symptoms of the anemia. So how to prevent this anemia? Eating a lot of fish are more absorbed. Like when you are eating more animal food, you will get good source of iron. And iron have a friend, like how you have a best friend, you also have a friend. Which you are making iron, she will lock it. Silently.
Please don't do this.